Come hold it, don't you panic. Took an island, left the mansion. Drop the roof, more expansion. Drive a coupe, you can stand. She love bitches undercover. I'm an ass and titty lover. Guess we all meant for each other. Now that all the dogs free, and we out in these streets. Can you do it? Can you pop it for me?
Pull up in a demon on guard, looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. It's that Z shit, it's that Z shit. Pull up in a demon on guard, looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod.
Hi everybody, welcome to the 11th hour. I'm your host Ariel, and thank you so much for tuning in to our very first episode. Y'all, we are gonna have such a good time on the show, the 11th hour. And I know y'all probably thinking like, okay, this girl been promoting this show a lot and this better be good. But I promise y'all, I will not disappoint. Oh, y'all like me. No, I'm just playing. I won't disappoint, seriously though. I have literally taken my time to figure out some really good content and topics. And I've gotten so many good people to agree to be on the show. We've already filmed some episodes, and we're just gonna talk about some really good things, y'all. I know that it's hard living in this life, living in this generation, not just this generation, because this show is open to all ages, but it's hard, you know, dealing with everyday circumstances, everyday experiences of trying to be, you know, a boss, trying to save money, trying to have money, trying to invest in things, trying to look nice and wear nice clothes, trying to, you know, find love and have a good career. So we are going to be discussing all of those things on this show. This is a show full of positivity. We don't need no negativism. We don't need no bad energy. We talking about positive things on this show, all right? So let's set the ambiance today. So every day we're going to have a fruit of the day. Not every show, I lied, because look, I need to save my coins. But most shows. And fruit just represents sexiness to me. You know, it's late night, we got our wines, we chilling, we got our drinks, and we're eating our fruit. So today we have mandarin oranges. I used to love mandarin oranges back in college because you could get a bulk of them for like $4. So I was always buying them because I was a broke college student and I needed something cheap. Today we have a segment, well, our very first segment is called The Signs. I don't know about y'all, but I'm so into zodiac signs. Like, I literally always think about zodiac signs. Like, every time. Now, I'm not one of those people where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to date him because he a Cancer. No, I'm not like that. But I'm also always thinking about, okay, you're a Pisces. Okay, I get along with Pisces. I'm an Aries. Or you're a Sag. I get along with Sagittarius. I'm an Aries. It's just interesting because I feel like it does have truth to it. So what I did was I surveyed some of my homegirls and I asked them, what's the worst sign you ever dated? Men, don't get mad at this because I promise I'll do a segment where I'm asking men what's the worst sign they've ever dated. But this specifically is girls that I asked. And, well, women that I asked. And I actually gave my input also. So we're going to go through these signs and we're going to see what's the worst sign that my homegirls have dated. And we're going to see what they said. Let's get into the segment. Okay, so first we have up is the Pisces, y'all. So I actually spoke to one of my friends and she said that Pisces men were the worst men that she's ever dated. That's so crazy to me because I actually like Pisces men. Pisces men are very, very, very sweet, very genuine. But to her, I guess it just didn't match with her. She said that her Pisces boo that she liked the absolute least was emotional. She said that he was very sensitive and that he was somewhat of a stalker. Like after they broke up, he would stalk her and just be super emotional. So that was actually like really interesting to me because I've had so many friends that have said that. Literally, like every friend that I've had has said Pisces men are very emotional, very annoying. And I will say this, Pisces men are emotional. I can agree to that. Annoying, I don't know. But a lot of my homegirls have had bad experiences with Pisces men. And this particular one, she was like, never again. He was the worst thing she ever dealt with. And she wasn't even, it was just horrible. So I was like, okay, well, that's that. Next we have the Aries. So I am an Aries and you wrong for that. You know who you are. But I'm an Aries and I don't agree with this. Granted, I never dated an Aries man because I don't know, for some reason it just hasn't come up. I feel like we probably wouldn't get along though, because I know me, Aries have strong personalities. But this particular friend said that he was combative, he was always arguing with her, and he was just super, super unfaithful, which is interesting because I always thought that Aries people were loyal. I know the females are. But you know what? I do hear bad things about Aries men. A lot of people say that Aries men are very disloyal. But she said he was always trying to argue with her and she wasn't trying to hear that. So that's that. Plus she was a Cancer. I don't think Cancer women, well, no, they do like to argue. So that's invalid. I don't know. Next we have ironically, it's the Cancer. So this particular friend said that Cancer men are super, super, super petty. And her experience was that she said literally they would have times where everything was all good. Then there would have times where she would come home because they lived together. She would come home and literally he wouldn't even talk to her. She would be talking to him and she just said that he was so moody, so bipolar. I could believe that because I actually have some Cancer homeboys. But she really, really said she could not deal. She said it was a horrible experience. He was super bipolar, and it was just a no for her. Next we have is a Sagittarius man. This is really interesting to me because although I've never experienced a Sagittarius man, they said that I'm compatible with I'm an Aries. They said that Aries are compatible. I'm talking too fast. With Sagittarius. A lot of my closest friends are Sagittarius. So that was interesting when she said that. But apparently Sagittarius men are liars, cheaters, and manipulators. Which also sounds like the sign I'm about to say. But she wasn't feeling that sad. Lastly, we have the Libra man. So this is actually the one that I showed y'all. I have actually experienced a few Libra men, and Libra men to me are just so manipulative. Like they just lie so much. They lie for no reason. I'd be like, what color is that fruit right there? He'll be like, yellow. It's just things like that. Like they just lie. And I personally I'm not one of those people, again, I ain't gonna ever say, oh, I will never deal with a Libra man, because it ain't that serious. But to me, compared to all the other men that I've known, Libra men were just the worst. Like they were liars. But again, y'all, please, 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 please do not take this the wrong way. This is just lighthearted fun. And this is just, some things that people have said and things that I've experienced. Maybe this will help you out. Maybe this won't. I don't know. But I just wanted to cover that. And on our next episode, I am actually going to volunteer to hear from you all. So what I want you all to do is I want you all to either email me at ariel.moody@yahoo.com or DM me at Ariel Simone, or you can leave it in the comments. Tell me what your worst sign that you dated was and why. And I'm going to discuss this on the very next episode. Because I want to compare. I want to see if what you all say is similar to what my homegirls say. And I want to see why you all say what you say. We're going to figure this out, all right? Okay, so now let's get into this topic, y'all. The reason we're here. So, the topic of the day is, should you date your coworker? I chose this topic for the very first episode because I think that this is so relevant to so many people over the age of 21 and even under the age of 21, because obviously people have jobs all from 15 and up. But I chose this topic because I feel like once you leave college, it's very hard to date. It's hard to meet somebody, Some people might meet their person at the store, which to me, it doesn't usually work out. Some people might meet their person through a friend. Some people might meet their person through school. But outside of that, the workplace is where you spend majority of your time. So a lot of people meet their man or their woman in the workplace. And I actually have experienced it myself. And I think that this topic is so good to touch on because it can give people a perspective of somebody who has experienced it. Not only that, but has also heard other experiences from other people and can testify to it. So this can either help you or it can do nothing for you. But I just felt like this was a good topic to touch on. And I also want to hear from you all. So to answer that question, should you date in the workplace? My answer is no, you shouldn't. Now, this is a disclaimer. A lot of people have been successful in dating somebody in the workplace. I know people to this day who are still in relationships with their person that they met at work. So I am in no way, shape, or form saying that it cannot work. I am simply stating my opinion and how I feel about it, and the fact that I personally would not want to date somebody in the workplace. So I'm going to give you some reasons why. My first reason why is it complicates things. And I say this because when you're literally dating somebody at work, right? You're seeing them all the time. You spend more time at work than you do at home. So you're seeing them all the time. You're talking to them at work. You're talking to them when you get home. You're talking to them on the weekends. And it just complicates things because you don't have that time to miss each other. You don't have that space. When you're in a regular relationship, it's very healthy to have space to miss each other. If you don't have space, you start getting tired of each other, you start getting bored with each other, and you start seeking other things. When you're seeing somebody at work, say if that man or that woman spends the night at your house, and then the next day y'all freaking going to work together. And eventually y'all are gonna start driving together and carpooling, because if we staying at each other's house all the time, what's the point of me driving and you driving and we going to the same place? So eventually you're gonna start joining your lives together. You're going to start driving to work together, driving home. You're going to see each other so much that you're going to feel smothered. Because it's like, dang, like, this you again? Dang, you here too? Like, it's going to get so annoying because you don't have that time to miss each other. And y'all don't even have things to talk about. Y'all at the same work. You come home and y'all talking about, oh, what happened at work today? The same thing that you experienced at work today. We work at the same place. So it's just, to me, it complicates things. Number 2 is jealousy. Now, some people might not be jealous people, whatever. I get it. But at some point, when you're working and you have so many women, so many men, it's kind of inevitable not to, at some point, even if you don't want to admit it, get jealous a little bit. Because here's the thing. You're at work. Your male or your woman, your man or your woman, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, they're going to at some point have to interact with another female, another male. That other female may be attractive. That other male may be attractive. It might be a new coworker that comes in. It might be somebody that comes in that's a vendor. It might be somebody that comes in for a meeting. And at some point, they might have to communicate with the opposite sex outside of y'all. It's different when y'all go out to a restaurant, y'all together, and they talking to the waitress or they talking to somebody at the restaurant. You right there. But separately, they might have to communicate with somebody at the workplace. Subconsciously, the human nature in you might get a little jealous. It's like, why he talking to her? Like, why is she smiling? You know what I'm saying? She might not notice y'all together. Or him. Man, why he all up on her? Like, why is he so close? And it might be literally innocent and nothing. But because y'all are together, because feelings are involved, you gonna make something up. Because you're gonna be thinking in your head at some point or another, because that person may not even know that y'all are together. You're gonna be thinking, why is this person too close? Why are they smiling? Why are they so happy to talk to him, to talk to her? And it's just like, you don't need all of that. You just don't. Number 3, when y'all break up, or if, I'm not going to put negative energy in this world, but if y'all break up, what's going to happen? You going to quit your job? You going to find something else? You going to stop coming to work? No, you're not. Y'all are literally going to still be at work together. So y'all done had a big breakup over the weekend, right? She's crying. You're crying, you're hurt, you at home, you depressed, she's hurt, she's depressed, y'all come to work. You don't even have time to grieve. You still seeing each other. That person may want to move on, or one of you might want to move on, but it's so hard because you still got to see that person. That person could have cheated on you, could have had a baby on you, whatever, but naturally, it's going to be harder to remove yourself because you're seeing that person at work every day. So you're like, dang, man, like, I'm trying to move on, but I literally have to see this person every day, and I can't just quit my job because it's hard for me to find another job. So you're literally in such toxicity because you haven't had a chance to grieve. You haven't had a chance to get over it because you're still facing it. That could be the worst. For example, I've experienced, kind of dealing with somebody in the workplace, and I truly couldn't move on and let it go until I left the job because it was like torture having to see that person every day, because every time I think I'm over it, here comes Monday and here comes him, so that's just an example of how, a breakup can be really hard on people who work together. Number 4 is it's a distraction. And people can say that it's not, but it is. I mean, even when you're first start a relationship and you're with somebody, it's already a distraction when you all are texting all day, because y'all in a honeymoon stage, so y'all texting, y'all talking on the phone at lunch, so you come back, you think about that person. It's even more of a distraction when you work with that person, because you literally up here, y'all might go to lunch together, because at some point y'all gonna go to lunch together. But that person may sit on the second floor and come down to the first to use the bathroom, or that person may sit on your floor and y'all cross paths a lot. You gonna be so freaking in a daze. You gonna be doing your work and then you stop and you daydream about him or her. You doing your work, you stop and you daydream, or you like, oh, let me just go chop it up with them real quick. Let me go to the bathroom to see them. It's a distraction, and it eventually can start to distract you from work, because here you are, before maybe you started working there before y'all started dating, and you're doing your work, you're focused. But then that person came along and your work might start to decline because you're thinking about that person and you're getting distracted from what you're doing because you're focused on them. And this is your livelihood. This is your professional life. This ain't school. You can't be distracted and then go home and come back and recollect, you know what I'm saying? And with a teachers, they can't do anything to you. They can't kick you out of school for being distracted. But in a workforce, some people are cutthroat. They will literally be like, your work is declining and I'm gonna need you to pick it up, or we're gonna have to find somebody else, period. So it's different in the real world because you're a professional now. You have to carry yourself as a professional. And when you have all those distractions, it's so hard to do that. Now, again, I'm not saying that this cannot work. I am not. I'm simply starting an argument. I'm putting it on the table. I'm stating my opinion, and I'm open to hear what other people have to say. I'm just giving a perspective, giving some things for people to think about if they're considering dating somebody in the workplace. I'm considering, I'm just putting it out on the table for something to think about. And it's so crazy because I follow Tony Gaskins. I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but he's like a relationship guru. And women always come to him and they're like, I work with this guy. I'm heartbroken. We broke up, whatever. How do I move on? His answer is always, you have to leave the job. And it's so true, because when things are good, things are good. But when things are bad, it's not like in a normal relationship where you can just let it go, block that person, and not have to deal with them anymore. When you work with them, you have to face them. And so literally, like, in order to truly move on, I'm not saying that it's not possible, you have to either remove yourself or maybe find somebody else. But one of those two are kind of the only ways to really, really move on, because you have that soul tie now that you're together, and now that you're not, here you are stuck, so, and even when you have arguments, you come into work and you've had these arguments and now you're distracted again because you mad at this person, you rolling your eyes, you saying you a punk, you this, he talking junk, you talking junk, and it's not needed, man. Life is hard enough. So that's just my perspective, y'all. I want to hear from y'all. You can either leave it in the comments or you can DM me or email me, and let's have an open discussion. Let's be open to it. Let's see what y'all have. Maybe y'all have experienced it, and maybe it worked for y'all. So let's see the opposite side of what I'm saying. Or if you agree, tell me you agree. But that is all that we have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed our very first episode. I will start doing questions later. It's called Ask Ariel's Diaries. So pretty much you all will ask me a question in the comments, and I'm gonna read only one at the end of each show. It could be about anything, be about job, love, career, anything, literally anything, even social media, anything. And we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna learn a lot on this platform, and I thank you all for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel, and I bid you good night.